This is Annie's palette. This will be the first of what I hope will be a lot of art lessons for people of all ages, but especially little people who might want to do something quick and easy, and that's what this lesson is. It's a chalk lesson with paper, and let me start you out by telling you what you'd need. First, chalk looks best on black paper, so you can use a piece of construction paper. This is scrapbooking paper. Works really nice on this. The size is 8.5 by 11, so the same size as a regular sheet of computer paper. The other thing you'll need is a pencil, a pair of scissors, a few more pieces of computer paper, about half the size of the 8.5 by 11. So cut that in half, doesn't matter what size. And you might want a few things to make circles with. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Last thing that's most important is chalk. I am using street art chalk and sidewalk chalk, and it's big. You can use smaller chalk. Also, it doesn't matter, but I like this because it's got lots of nice colors. So let's get started with what we're doing. We're using a stencil, and a stencil, I have a lot of flowers in a vase. Many times they are the same color. So I wipe my hands, and this time I'm going to put a flower here. And again, I'm pushing the chalk in, and I'm not trying, you can fill the whole thing in. But I'll show you what we can do if you don't want to do that. Lift. I love the little pieces that are left, so I'm blue on it, but it's okay. Wipe your hands. And now let's do one more, same color. I'm sorry if the video is moving a little bit. Again, it's got a little bit of chalk on there. Wipe my hands, but this time we're going to do something special. We're going to make this flower be behind these two. So you lay it on there so that you can see the other two parts of the other two flowers. And so that's where I'm going to pull it in, and I'm not going to touch it here and here where I can see the flowers. So I'm only going to do up here, all the way to the edge of this one, and just a little tiny bit right here. And that flower is behind these two. So let me do the same color one more time. Wipe your hands. We'll put this one over here. Maybe turn it a little bit. Maybe have just this flower peeking so that I don't touch it there because I can see it. And there you go. So let's make the flowers stand out just a little bit more. Well, let me do one more. Chalk. Wipe hands. Let's put this one here, all by itself. And really pull the chalk in, because this one looks like it might be the closest. Pull it up, move it to the messy side, and let's make the petals show up just a little bit more by using another color and just a simple circle. And again, I cut this out by hand. Let's see, I think I'll make this one yellow in the inside. Put enough chalk on it, wipe my hands. And it would be on the inside of this one. Maybe they have a yellow center. I think there's enough chalk to do this one. Make sure it looks like it's in the center. It doesn't have to be though. One over here. And lastly, just part of one. Remember, if you can see the petal of this one, then you avoid that spot because this flower is behind the others, and so why don't we do all of them? Remember, I'm pushing the chalk right into the flower. Wow, that's looking good. So there's 5. I like odd numbers because it just seems to look better. Let's start thinking about the vase. Well, first, let's give it some stems. So I'm imagining the vase down here. Let's start with the vase. That way we can know where the stems are going to go. So let me show you how to do a vase. A vase would be about this size, so I'm using the other half of the computer paper and I'm folding it in half. Look to the messy side here. You see that? Let me move this for a minute. And I folded it. Fold on this side, and I'm going to take my pencil, and here's the top of the vase. Can you see that mark? And here's the bottom of the vase. And so watch and see. So a vase usually comes up and gets smaller. So I'm going to start up here, go down a little ways, and make a big loop like this. So let me show you that earlier. Small up here, roll it around until you get to the bottom. And then you can take your scissors. You can make this nice and flat. Doesn't have to be perfect again. And remember, this is the vase, but we're doing a stencil. That's why we did the fold. There you go. So just line it up. Leave a little space for the table. And I think we'll make our vase gray, a glass vase. So again, move to the messy side. I'm putting gray all the way around. On the top. Tap off the extra. Wipe your hands. And if you get some prints on the picture, that's not a problem. They'll add to the interest. So now I've got the gray on there. I'm going to put it just a little above the bottom of the paper. I don't want it too close to the flowers, although that would look nice. This is a little bigger, so I really have to hold on to the paper. And now I'm going to push all the gray. And I don't have to go all the way in, because that will help make it look like a glass see-through vase. You can make a fatter vase. Go around again. Doesn't have to be all the way filled in. There you go. Okay, now we can do the stems. So I'm just going to use the chalk as it is and just be very light with it because it doesn't have to be real dark. This one's peeking through. It's a glass vase so we can see the stem. This one Might be able to just see a little bit. This flower can come down here, go into the vase. This one. And the last one right here comes around and goes into the vase. And then a few leaves, quick leaves. You can use again a piece of paper and do that on the fold too. A half a leaf looks like a teardrop. So I'm going to go down I'm going to start with a point, come down around and back in. So I'll show it to you again after I make it nice and dark. It kind of looks like a half of a teardrop. Go down and curve it around. And remember, we're doing a stencil, that's why it's on the fold. Take your time cutting, but again, it's a growing thing, so not all the leaves have to be the same. And you can make just a few different size leaves, but let's stay with one. And I'm going to do a green leaf right here. So again, move to the messy side. And it's a smaller shape, so usually with a smaller shape you can do more than one without having to go back and get more chalk. So I'm going to put a leaf on this stem right here. I can just see the stem, and because it's small you can really fill that in. And then let's put another one going the other way on this stem. And I love how chalk looks on black paper. Doesn't have to be real dark. And let's finish it off with a table down near the bottom, and that's easy because you can just take one of your other stencils or another plain piece of paper, and we're going to start right here just above where the vase is. And let's use, you can use brown, or we're going to use blue. And all I'm doing again at the messy side is putting the blue right along the edge of the paper. And put plenty on there because you'll see why. I'm going to make the table just with a straight line and move the paper down so that it kind of looks like the wood in a table, even if it's blue, it's maybe a painted table. And I'm going to put it across here. Let me finish this all the way to the edge. And again, a little bit above the bottom of the vase, but again, skip where the vase is. And I'm just going to move my lines the same direction. So I'm moving down like this, stopping where the vase is, and then move something along this. There's the table. And I move it down again, just a little ways. I might need a little bit more chalk. I do. I'm going to move along here. Sidewalk chalk. Sometimes it's hard to go on certain types of paper, but I added some chalk. Oops, clean my hands. Move it down just a ways from the other one. This time I don't see the vase, so I can go all the way across, and I'm going the same direction. Maybe one more. Add some blue. Wipe my hands. Lay it down below the last line that I have. It doesn't even have to be straight. Just move that chalk. I'm going like the same direction from right to left. Ta-da! We're done. And an artist should sign their name. So I'm going to put Annie right here at the bottom. And you should sign yours too. Now it is chalk, so you might want to spray it. So you can use your grown-ups in the house to see what they might have around. I have a fixative that you buy in a craft store just for chalk or charcoal or something that would move if you put your hands on it. Don't spray too close. Be about 12 inches, a ruler size from it, and just give it a light spray. Hairspray will also work too. Make sure that you do it in an open air, not in the house, because you don't want to inhale too much of it. But this, if you're going to hang it on your wall, you want to have it a little bit sprayed so that the chalk doesn't move around. So let me finish by showing you the one I did on a very skinny paper. And again, if you want to, you don't have to have the vase. You could just cover the whole page with many different colors of flower. And we didn't purchase anything. Most everybody has paper, construction paper, a pencil, scissors, and you make your own stencils. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Look for the next art lesson. Subscribe on YouTube and stay healthy, stay safe.